By 1930, by the time Gandhi launches civil disobedience movements, he seems settled on the side of Savarkar. That is the beginning of it. And Godse then goes back to Sangli, where in 1934 he joins RSS. So now actually his journey in the Hindutva circle begins. We see the enmity was there, the poison, the hatred against Gandhi was there. But the idea to kill Gandhi for the first time comes to us in July 1947, a month before independence. Godse schooling was a bit checkered because his father's job was transferable in nature, and but he did his high school in Pune, in Maharashtra. He failed in English, so he couldn't get the matriculation certificate. So he started as a person who was not very confident. He was not being able to negotiate with the world around him, but he carried this idea of being privileged, belonging to a privileged caste. So that contradiction actually remained in him, as in many of the right-wing activists of the time and even of today's India. As I told you, Ratnagiri was the place where his father was posted. He goes there after being unable to qualify matriculation, and there he meets Savarkar. Savarkar was he had come out of jail, and he was kept at Ratnagiri with certain restrictions, like he was not allowed to move out of Ratnagiri without permission of district magistrate, and he was also asked not to take part in politics. So that was the condition on which he was released from the jail, and he was confined to Ratnagiri. But in Ratnagiri, he was free to meet anybody and do any non-political kind of activity. There, Godse meets Savarkar and almost becomes his disciple. One of the reasons was the caste allegiance. Godse belonged to a particular subcaste of Maharashtrian Brahmins, which is called Chitpavan Brahmin. So was Savarkar. And finally, by 1930, by the time Gandhi launches civil disobedience movements, he seems settled on the side of Savarkar. That is the beginning of it. But after some time, he had to leave the place, and he goes to another place, to his sister's place, where he starts doing some odd job there. So he was away for some time. But in 1934, by then his father was retired and shifted to Sangli. So his father asked him to come back and to help him in running the household, because he was the eldest son. And Godse then goes back to Sangli, where in 1934 he joins RSS. So now actually his journey in the Hindutva circle begins. So that the person who introduces him to RSS was Kashinath Bhaskar Limay. Limay was a Savarkarite, but at the same time, Limay was also the chief of RSS in Bombay Presidency. So from now onward, we see that Godse now started becoming the protege of two persons. One, Savarkar, who later headed Hindu Mahasabha, and Kasinath Bhaskar Limay, who was very important leader of RSS those days. We see the enmity was there, the poison, the hatred against Gandhi was there. But the idea to kill Gandhi for the first time comes to us in July 1947, a month before independence, when there was a meeting in Pune, which was addressed by Godse, in which Godse is saying that some RSS men want Gandhi and Nehru to be killed, to be eliminated. That is the exact word that they are using, because they are obstacles in their way of setting Hindu Rashtra in India. That was the first time when this idea becomes, when this idea is recorded in archival documents. One Congress leader was present there. One Mr. Kanitkar is popularly known as Kaka Kanitkar. He was present there in that meeting. It was an open meeting. And so he writes all this to the Chief Minister of Bombay Presidency. After that, we see that for some time after partition, these people, Godse and Apte, these two persons were busy in planning, attacks on Jinnah and some establishments in Pakistan, which they never could do, but they were seen busy doing that. In December, we see that Godse and Apte enters into a prolonged discussion on how to kill Gandhi. But neither of them, neither Godse nor Apte, was ready to kill Gandhi, so they wanted somebody who could carry out the job. Finally, on 2nd of January, they go to Ahmednagar, which is close to Pune. And there they have a meeting with another person, Karkare. And Karkare suggests the name of a refugee who had come from West Punjab, Montgomery district, Madan Lal Pahwa, who was residing in Ahmednagar, and he was living in Hindu Mahasabha office of Ahmednagar, and he was like many other refugees. He also used to hate Gandhi. He used to think that Gandhi was responsible for the miseries that he had to suffer, and so his hatred could be exploited to make him kill Gandhi. That was the suggestion of Karkare, which convinced these two people, and from there we see the process begin. On 2nd of January 1948, the process begins. Madan Lal Pahwa was identified as the person who would carry out the job by Karkare. Godse and Apte knew about this, but Madan Lal Pahwa was not told that he would have to kill Gandhi. That process began. I mean, on 8th or 9th of January, Karkare, Madan Lal Pahwa, both of them go to Pune, where they have long meeting with Godse and Apte. There, in fact, a third set of people, Barge and his assistant, Shankar Kistaya. Barge was arms dealer. They also joined the group. And after that, they moved to first Karkare and Pahwa were asked to move to Bombay city. On 14th, these people start their journey. All the remaining four, Godse, Apte, and Barge and Kistaya. Still, they had not disclosed this idea to Baba, and Baba just thought that he was working for his master, whom he used to call Seth. Karkara Seth is the expression he used for him. From there, they moved to Delhi. On 19th, all of them moved to Delhi. On the night of 19th January 1948, Karkare, that was the time when Pahwa was going to sleep. Karkare suddenly came, and Karkare asked Pahwa whether he would be able to kill Gandhi. Pahwa refused. And the moment that happened, this man Godse became hopeless, and he practically withdrew himself from the entire thing. But Apte remained adamant, and then Apte convinces Barge to carry out the role that Pahwa was supposed to do. Next day, all of them go to prayer ground, Birla Bhavan, and now Pahwa was given a kind of minor role in the entire plot. Barge was given the responsibility to kill Gandhi, and but it was supposed to, the entire thing was to start after Pahwa blew gun cotton slab, which he did. But other people didn't do their work. Other people actually fled. Godse, Apte, and Gopal, they fled in the taxi that they had hired. Karkare and Kistaya, who were on the ground, who were supposed to kill Gandhi, they felt cheated. They came later in a Tonga to Hindu Mahasabha Bhavan, where all of them were staying. So after that, after the fiasco of 20th January, everybody flew in different direction. Godse and Apte took a train and went to Kanpur. The entire day they stayed there on the station, and then next day they start their journey to Bombay, where they reach late on 23rd of January. We see that they checked in a guest house, and then again they came out, and they remained outside for till late in the night, discussing about what to do. And that was the time when it seems that this idea concretized, that now Godse would kill Gandhi. How did this happen? Whether it was the idea of Godse or whether Apte convinced him to do this, we don't know. But we know that during those discussions of that day, during those hours, because even when they return late in the night, they remain awake till morning, because the light was on, light of their room was on, and in the morning they leave, they go out again. But then by now they had decided, both of them, Godse and Apte, had decided that Godse would now kill Gandhi. After that, we see that preparation begins. Karkare, they tell this to Karkare, who was staying nearby in Thane, and they meet Karkare and they tell him that this is the idea that Godse would kill. That Godse also, this is what Karkare told during interrogation, that Godse told him that look, group action would not succeed. In this case, it failed, but only individual action would succeed. Just like Madan Lal Dhingra killed Curzon Willie in 1909 at the instance of Savarkar. They then return back on 29th, where they meet Karkare again, and from there on the process begins. I mean, a lot of meetings, discussions. In the evening of 29th, Karkare goes to the prayer ground to look at the entire place. I mean, these people had already done their recce, but for final recce, Karkare goes to prayer ground on 29th evening, and then on 38th in the afternoon, all of them first go to Birla Temple, and from there Godse alone goes to the prayer ground, Birla Bhavan, and Karkare and Apte follow him. And when Gandhi enters the prayer ground around after 5 o'clock in the evening, this man Godse goes close to him, and then practically at point blank range kills Gandhi. And very soon, on the very first day, in fact, all the accused came to know that Godse at the time of killing Gandhi was carrying a diary which had certain entries which supported the conspiracy angle of prosecution. Godse was a kind of person who he used to worship Savarkar, and he used to keep Apte in very high esteem. Even his brother Gopal was very upset. All of them were very upset because of this diary, this piece of evidence. They found that they would be in trouble, and so they started pressurizing Godse to own up everything. That is why we see that Godse reads out a very long statement in the court in which he tries to exonerate all the co-accused. He tries to exonerate all the organizations he had been associated with, Hindu Mahasabha as well as RSS.